What's up, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing WWE 2K24.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's get into it. So I just want to start this off by saying that regardless, I was going to pick this game up because I make content with the WWE 2K24 games. If you guys don't know that, you should go check out my other channel. It's Heathen's Haven Wrestling. The link will be below.
Damn right, the link will be below. And what you need to do is you need to go down and hit the subscribe button on this channel. What? And you need to go hit the subscribe button on the other channel. What? And you need to hit the like buttons on all the damn videos. Oh, hell yeah. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so.
Thanks, Stone Cold. I appreciate you. Appreciate the plug. Alright, so let's get into this then. Let's start with the gameplay, the good parts of the gameplay. The player movements feel smoother and more precise than last year, that's for sure. At least for me they did. Moving around the ring and just doing the moves, it felt definitely way smoother. They added this little mechanic that gives you the ability to trade punches in the middle of the ring. You like hold X and you guys start going back and forth, and there's this little mini game where you have to stop your button in the little meter, and it's pretty cool because you guys just go back and forth trading punches. It reminds me of like the AEW stuff where they get in the middle of the ring and they just start going back and forth trading blows. You can definitely do that in this game, and it's pretty cool. It adds to the story and the drama of the match, which is awesome. There definitely seems to be more combos this year added to the striking. The different types of combos and things that you can do to your opponent is pretty cool. For me, this is just me. I don't know if it actually is this way, but the reversal button felt like it didn't have the lag this year. And if people that have played the other 2K games know what I'm talking about. When you hit the button, as soon as it pops up, you hit the button, it works. Because you would hit the button in the past years and you would swear that you were on time, but it just would never register. It was almost like you just had to know the moves. If you played the game long enough, you would know like where in the move it was going to pop up, but this year you can actually react to it, so that's pretty good. The wrestlers' animations are on point this year, and most of them look and feel very authentic. I mean, and they did in the past too. 2K23 was pretty good with that, but this year the graphics are a little bit touched up and it just feels really good as far as the animations are concerned, and the authenticity of the wrestlers. They feel, you feel like you're wrestling with Stone Cold or Bret Hart. So I like the way that they changed the tag team, how tag team matches work. They have a new cooldown for the illegal man to where he can only come into the ring once and make a save. And after he does that, he can't come back in again until a tag is made and you reset the cooldown. And that's awesome because last year, especially with AI versus AI tag matches, they could take fucking forever because people just keep making the save over and over and over. Guy would give this dude a finisher and do nothing to his opponent on the side and just go for the pin. And the guy would just come in and, of course, break it up. And it got annoying sometimes because a match would be over. Some guy would take like 5 finishers and he's done. The match should have been over, but they wouldn't hit the guy on the outside, so what made it really frustrating. But so this is definitely a welcome addition this year. They added a couple new match types this year, including a casket match and an ambulance match. I mean, the more match types the better, in my opinion. It doesn't matter what they are, but for me these weren't really that special. I played them both and yeah, they were fun, but it wasn't that great. I'd rather play a ladder match against some people than play that. But yeah, they were okay. They also added more abilities that you can equip to your wrestlers, which adds a little bit more strategy to the matches. I enjoyed that. For example, they added being able to throw a fireball in someone's face like Wizard Chris Jericho. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Alright, the bad part of the gameplay. The game still has a ton of bugs, and even still has some of the legacy bugs that have plagued the game in the past few years. The game still suffers from data deletion and times where you can't progress in the universe mode. Ugh, that sucks. Nothing's worse than that, man. You can't move forward in the universe mode. When you're playing Superstar Universe mode, for some reason the game will just hard crash when you try to play your match. at any given time. You might be a couple weeks in or a couple months in. And I found that you can get around it by changing the match type because they give you the option to be able to kind of book your own matches still. But in my opinion, it defeats the purpose of the Superstar Universe mode because you play that, you want the game to book the matches. You just want to feel like a superstar and just play that. But you still have to book your own matches sometimes to get around this hard crash problem where it won't let you progress, which has been in the game for years at this point, not being able to progress in universe mode. It's frustrating. People still clip through each other sometimes, and their arms still clip through the other person's body when they're doing submission moves and holds. It's pretty funny though sometimes to watch it. The guy's like choking him and his arm's not even around the neck, it's like behind his head, or it just looks ridiculous, but it's still entertaining. So the gameplay overall still has that weird jank to it. It just feels off sometimes. People that played this series know what I mean about the jank. It just, I don't know, there's just something to it sometimes. Like at points it feels really smooth and you're doing your stuff, you're running, making a move, but then then all of a sudden things get wonky and it just feels really janky. Your guy kind of like clips through the ropes, or he jumps one direction off of the top rope and then like turns 90 degrees in the air and dives onto the guy on the outside, or things like that they look really weird. It doesn't necessarily interfere with the game per se, the gameplay, but it definitely takes you out of it and looks very unrealistic, let's put it that way. The AI has a horrendous time trying to use weapons. They did last year too, to an extent. But man, they constantly try to pick up weapons, especially under the ring, only to turn around and just drop it on the ground. I had matches where there was like 8 weapons just laying all everywhere because they would just pull one out, turn around and just drop it on the ground. Pull one out, turn around, just drop it on the ground. Like 5 kendo sticks, a bat, a chair, like what the hell? Never got used. It's especially annoying when they do it with the steel steps, because it takes them so fucking long to pick up the stairs. And they always get snaked by their opponent when they go for the stairs. They never even get to use them. And then when they finally do pick them up, they just drop it. It's so fucking stupid. I mean, like I said, like the other bugs, you get entertainment out of it because just sitting here laughing. You're laughing your ass off at this guy that keeps going for the stairs only to turn around, drop him, and then get clotheslined from behind by his opponent to finally reverse the move, knock that dude out, and then turn around and pick up the stairs again. Only to fucking turn around, drop him, and then get snaked again. It is pretty fucking funny. I get enjoyment out of watching it, not gonna lie. And the worst part for me is the referee is even worse this year than he was last year. He is constantly getting in the way on Irish whips. You go to throw him and he just runs into the ref. Ugh. And then the guy just suplexes him from behind. And if you thought he took forever to count the pin last year, oh, wait till you see this year. Holy shit, you gotta get like a 7 count pin this year. It's so bad. So bad. Alright, I'm gonna move on to the visuals. I'm gonna leave it at that with the gameplay. I'm sure I missed some stuff there, but there's not too much difference. There's not much to talk about as far as 2K23 to 2K24. It really does look and feel like the same game, and I mean, of course it does. It's always like that. Sports games and these wrestling games, but I'm just trying to talk about the things that are different, or at least going over the things that they didn't fix. So with the visuals, the good parts of the visuals are that the graphics look awesome. I mean, they did last year too, but they even look slightly better this year, in my opinion. Like I just said, though, it still looks like the same game. I mean, it really does. The animations of the wrestlers are very authentic to each personality. I mean, they even manage to wrestle like the people. If you do AI versus AI matches, it is really impressive how an Ultimate Warrior versus a Kevin Owens, it really does look like an Ultimate Warrior versus Kevin Owens, like what you would expect from that match. Fucking Ultimate Warrior's like grabbing the ropes and doing his stupid shit and running around and blowing himself up, and Kevin Owens is out there fucking taunting and pulling shit out, pulling weapons out. It's just, It's just hilarious how it works out, how it plays out. One of the biggest improvements this year is the blood in this game looks insane. It now gets all over your body and the mat, which is badass. It really is badass. It's a nice addition and adds realism to the storytelling of the game. I love it. Like, the blood, just the more you pound their head in after they initially bleed, it just starts going all over the place. Their chest is all bloody. It's on the mat. It's awesome. Badass. We needed that because like I said, it adds to the storytelling. Alright, the bad parts of the visuals, for me at least, there seems to be a bug centered around people's eyeballs. Maybe they've fixed this since then. Some of these bugs may have been patched, and I assume if they haven't, they will. Hopefully, a lot of these. My Randy Orton looked like he needed to be wearing a helmet. Hopefully I'll have the clip on here for you right now, so you can watch it.
Apex Predator has arrived. A rare third-generation superstar.
The Viper possesses greatness coursing through his veins. And despite his family legacy, Randy Orton has forged a path of his own as one of WWE's top superstars of all time. One of the all-time greats has seen and done everything there is to do in this business.
Career decorated with championship gold.
But despite that success, you could also say Randy Orton has carried himself as a very entitled and selfish superstar.
Or you can look at the reality that Randy Orton worked hard and earned every bit of it.
And there you go. Randy Orton looked like he needed to be wearing a helmet. And here's my custom John Moxley's eyeballs.
Better get ready.
The following is a tornado tag team match. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 437 pounds, The Shield.
A matchup like this, it's one that the locker room has wanted to see. It's one that the WWE Universe has wanted to see. It's one that I've been waiting to see, and it's about to go down.
As you can see, his eyeballs kept bulging out of his head, and that was not just him, it happened to a bunch of wrestlers. So especially when you're trying to make content like on my other channel, it's very weird and awkward when all these people's eyes be bulging out of their head. I had a title match with Randy Orton and Kenny Omega, and that's what that was from, that clip, and Randy Orton just looks like he needs to put a helmet on. Somebody dropped him on his head backstage, man. I don't know. But alright, moving on to sound. The good parts of the sound is the entrance music and the sound effects are on point. They always have been, so nothing new there. They added more variety to the crowd noise. You hear individual people in the crowd like screaming things at you more now. You would every once in a while in the last ones, but this one you really hear it. You hear people screaming all kinds of stuff at you. And the moves sound devastating this year. The announcers seem to be more into it during the matches, which is a nice addition. Sometimes the announcers would come off very disconnected from the match, but they definitely feel more into what's going on. And I've noticed that they actually do a better job of kind of storytelling themselves when you are running universe mode. They somehow manage to fit whatever they're saying into your storyline. I don't know how they do it, but it does work out pretty cool, the things that they say. But the bad parts of the sound is, for me, I had a bug where it kept saying, "And here comes Sir Heathen! And here comes Sir Heathen! And here comes Sir Heathen!" over and over again during my entire entrance.
It's the so-called dark horse of the tournament.
It's a qualifying match for the Universal Championship Tournament. Making his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 265 pounds, Sawyer Heenan.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves calling this guy the dark horse of the tournament. He's not even officially in it yet.
I have to agree with you, Corey. Winning the WWE Universal Championship Tournament will be difficult enough. But to have to win an extra qualifying match first makes it nearly impossible.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves calling this guy the dark horse of the
Yeah, it got really annoying, and I believe that they patched this bug since then, because it stopped happening in that mode for me, but oh my god, was it a nightmare. And not the Cody Rhodes nightmare. Zing. There's still some legacy bugs lingering around with sounds, such as when someone is getting introduced and they say, "Weighing in at and 45 pounds." They don't say like 245 pounds. They'll be like, "Weighing in at and 45 pounds." And it takes you out of it a little bit. Your brain notices it and you're like, "Wait, what?" But that was in there last year as well. I can't remember if it was in 2K22, but it's just funny. It takes you out of it a little bit. Doesn't interfere with the gameplay though, so that's good. The story and the game modes in this game. We'll start with My Rise mode. The story is better this year, I feel like, and it's actually kind of fun to play. Surprisingly, it's pretty fun to play. It has branching storylines, so you actually have a reason to replay the damn mode a few times to see what happens. And there's two different storylines that you can play, whether you play as a male or a female. I think the male playthrough is the Undisputed, and the female version is the Unleashed. Yeah, this game mode can get pretty stale after a few matches though, because most matches, just like in the past years, they make you do all those damn objectives during that match, and you just like, I just want to beat the shit out of this guy. Like, throw him into the corner and then do this move. Like, I'm doing my finisher. I'm dropping him on his head outside the ring. I'm about to roll him in and pin him. I can pin him right now. Yeah, but you gotta whip him into the ropes, and then you gotta pick him up and put him on the turnbuckle. Dude, get the fuck out of here. Just let me beat this guy my way. I didn't like that. I've never liked that they make me do certain things in the match, because I'd rather just go play another game mode. That's usually why I don't play these game modes. But yeah, moving on to Universe mode. It feels pretty much the same as last year and the year before that. There's more types of rivalry actions this year, and you can actually have multiple man matches and still have a rivalry play out, so that's nice. You can actually pick who you want to do what, so that's cool. Because you couldn't do that last year if you had a certain rivalry. You just had to let it ride, and it would... Certain rivalry matches, they would just put these random people in your singles match. And you wouldn't want that person, especially if you're making a story or something like I am with my content on the other channel. You don't want certain wrestlers out there. You may not want them revealed yet, and the game will just randomly put them in the match. So this is a welcome addition this year, that you can actually pick who you want in those matches. But the mode has gotten really stale at this point. I think the developers are at a loss with what to do with this mode. In my opinion, this is the selling point of this game. This is why people buy this game, is the universe mode, really. But the devs left it bare bones for years. I was really hoping that they were going to do something with the universe mode when they took 2K21 off. For those of you that don't know, they didn't make a game in 21 for 2K21. They went from 2K20 to 2K22, which was smart. They needed to rebuild things, but it still didn't feel... It was just as broken. 2K22 was all kinds of fucked up. And this mode has been bare bones for so many years, man. The last good universe mode for me has been all the way back in WWE 12. Hands down for me, best universe mode ever in any wrestling game. 100%. But it just still doesn't play out the way you would want a universe mode to play out. The rivalry system is still lame as fuck. It doesn't help to tell a storyline very well in a feud. And they don't seem to realize that this fun in the mode is letting the universe mode play out organically. That was the best part of the old WWE 12 games, is everything playing out organically. Because you don't want to have to set everything for yourself. You want to be able to like set the allies, set the enemies, and just let it go. Like in WWE 12 was good with that. You want to see a guy do a run-in randomly and choke somebody out. Or get the match DQ'd because he just came in with a kendo stick, wasn't even in the match, and just hit the guy that he doesn't like in the back of the head with the kendo stick to start a feud. That's what would happen in WWE 12. You'd just be watching a match and some guy... Here, I'll tell you a story. So in my WWE 12 universe, this is just one of the storylines. I had so many of these types of storylines play out. It was so fucking entertaining and funny at the same time. So... two guys were wrestling a match. I don't remember who it was, but randomly out of fucking nowhere, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, he just comes out. He did what I just said. He just goes in the ring, chokes one of the dudes out with the $1 Million Dream. And then it starts a feud, and he starts feuding with that person. And then he goes and wrestles like a fatal 4-way the next week. And he chokes everybody out with the $1 Million Dream. It was a 4-way elimination match, and he choked all 3 guys out. He eliminated all 3 of them with the $1 Million Dream. And then the next week it was an 8-man match, and he eliminated 5 of the people and won the match with the $1 Million Dream. I was like, Ted DiBiase can't be stopped out here. He is out here choking everybody out, man. He eventually went on a run and went for the championship and won the championship. You guessed it, with the $1 Million Dream. Choked the motherfucker out, won the championship. But that all started because he came out in the middle of someone's match and choked the dude out. And the match got DQ'd. And that's why they booked a match with those 2 guys and someone else in a 4-way the next week. This was all the game. The game booked all this. I didn't book any of that shit. I was just watching. All I did was set the allies and the enemies and the tags, the stables and all that stuff, and let it go, man. And that's what made it so entertaining, was the game put that storyline together for me. It wasn't like a cutscene storyline per se or anything, even though there were cutscenes in that game and things did happen during that feud and during that storyline. But it was just about how it played out. How he actually, got a push. He came out and started his run and got hot, and just nobody could stop him. It was amazing. But yeah, you definitely don't get any of that in this mode at all, and you haven't in a long time. And they still haven't added promos into the game. I don't understand why. Without promos, this mode feels very sterile. You just go match to match. You don't really have many ways of pushing the storyline forward in a feud. Yeah, you have a couple cutscenes here and there. Guy assaults a dude after the match or whatever, but they get old really fast because those are the only things that you can really do. And with the rivalry system, a lot of them, you have to book a certain type of match in order to have the... It's really stupid. It's really stupid. But this is the most important part of this mode. And they haven't even addressed it in years. Like having promos. Promos don't even have to be voiced. They can just be text-based, and they used to have that shit. But there has to be promos, or else it just makes everything else fall flat and not make any sense. You really have to use your imagination in this mode. You have to use your imagination to for the storylines to make sense and things in this game way more than you ever did in, like I said, WWE 12. Because the storylines made sense. What you were seeing made sense, and it wasn't just match to match to match. You could... It's hard to explain. People that have played all the way back then, they know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And maybe 12 wasn't your game. 13 was like that too. This was right before 2K got their greedy little hands on this fucking franchise. Yeah, and you still run the risk in universe mode of just bricking it at some point and not allowing you to progress forward. It sucks so bad. It'll just hard crash every time to your desktop. And you're like, what the fuck? Don't matter. You can change the matchups, you can move your match card around, but it's just gonna crash. And just like the other mode, like I said earlier, it could be a couple weeks in, it could be a couple months in. Who knows where that bug lies, but they haven't been able to find it in years, because it has something to do, in my opinion, with created characters. When you have a lot of created stuff going on in your universe mode is when it happens the most. And it's unacceptable, because when you spend so much time getting your universe mode set up, with all the factions, all the teams, the entrances, the victory celebrations, everything. Anyone who's ever done this knows exactly how long this fucking shit takes. It takes a fucking long time to get every little thing set up that you want. And then your universe bricks and you can't move forward. It can be literally soul crushing, man. To the point where you might not play the game anymore. Because you just spent, you might have spent like 20, 30, 40 hours or more, who knows, just creating the stuff for your universe mode, just for it to brick, just for it to crash. Ugh. It's terrible, but that's been there for years at this point. Alright, moving on to the online mode. I didn't play the online mode at all, so I cannot comment on it, but based off the rest of the game that I've seen, I'm going to assume that it's probably just the same as the other online modes from 2K23, 2K22. I didn't play those much because they were very laggy and just lots of bugs and problems. So I never played it. Some people do though. So maybe that's for you, but I didn't play that mode. Moving on to my faction mode, which is the worst game mode to ever exist in any game. There is no reason to have a card pack Madden Ultimate Team bullshit in a wrestling game. There's just no reason for it. This is purely Take-Two Interactive's doing. I guarantee it. The execs were like, well, how are we going to make money with microtransactions? I know. Let's make a card pack game. Just like NBA 2K. Pulling out my Kermit the Frog shit. Yeah, that's great. Fucking idiots. I can't believe there's a fucking card game in this damn game. Buy my packs. I don't see a point in playing this mode at all. It's just garbage.
It's like, you got this wrestling game, and you got the whole damn roster. I got a Stone Cold right here. But then I go into my faction, and I got the 81 overall Stone Cold. Which means I can't go in there and stop a mud hole in his ass, because I'm only an 81. Well, that just ain't gonna happen. That don't make any damn sense. I'm gonna go in there as my 99... I better be a 99, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I'm gonna open up a can of whoop ass on them, and that's all I got to say about that. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, no problem, Stone Cold. You can chime in anytime you want, dude. So, I mean, this game, all in all, had a rocky launch, in a way. I'll tell you straight up, since I make the content for this game, too, on my other channel. I bought the, whatever, the 40th anniversary edition. The Super Deluxe Edition, whatever the fuck. Got the 3-day early access with the game. And here's what happened. This is what happened to a lot of people, and myself included. So if you pre-ordered the game, you got early access. You played for 3 days. And I played the shit out of this game because I was trying to get my review stuff in and get all my playtime in, and I wanted to see what the game was like before it actually launched. Because I knew that it was going to be a buggy mess, because it always is. But I just wanted to see how it was then until now, so I could give you guys an update on how they're coming along patching these bugs. And when the game actually launched, it asked you to download the rest of your DLC packs to play the game. Now, to be fair, it is all of our faults, myself included, because at the very bottom of this fucking message, it said that if you did this, it would delete all your save stuff. But it was at the very bottom through all this shit. For me personally, I was mashing the A button on my Xbox controller to just get through the fucking shit, and I wasn't prepared for that to be popping up, so I just pushed it and deleted all my stuff. Everything I did. So I was like 75% through my Rise career and had my universe going. I had a bunch of arenas built for my other content, my Heathen's Haven content. All deleted. Everything deleted. Completely fresh game. That was rough. I feel for the people, like I just said earlier, man. If they spent those days making their universe mode just for that to happen to them, it's soul crushing. It really is. So that definitely happened when the game launched, and it sucked. I mean, obviously, it's fine now. It's good to go. I rebounded from it, but I did lose my character, my Myrise character. The footage that you guys see in this game of my Sir Heathen Myrise character, he no longer exists. To summarize this game up, it's definitely a fun and enjoyable game. I mean, it's a wrestling game. It's just like the other ones. If you enjoyed 2K23, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. No doubt about it. Especially if you're a wrestling fan. You'll enjoy this game. It's very authentic, and you can tell that the people that make the game, the actual boots on the ground people, they seem to go to great lengths to make the wrestlers look and feel very lifelike, which is nice of them. Their passion shines through in the game, in my opinion. It seems like they're fans of wrestling. But that being said, I would not recommend this game at full price at all. Especially if you have 2K23 already. There's just no reason for it. I'd wait for a huge sale, at least half off. Half off, at least. I'd also wait another month or so to give them a chance to iron out some of these bugs, because this version seems, in my opinion, way buggier than last year's. The wrestling games are always buggy as hell the first month or two of release, so it is hard to say, but this game is very buggy. So yeah, wait to get this game at least half off, unless you're a diehard wrestling fan, then by all means, because you will have fun with it. You definitely will have fun with the game. The game is still fun as hell, and it definitely improves on a lot of things from 2K23, for sure. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for tuning into the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Go over to the other channel, Heathen's Haven Wrestling, the link's below. You better go over there, or else Stone Cold's gonna open up a can of whoop ass on you, and that's all he had to say about that, so I wouldn't fuck around too much, but yeah, guys, take it easy, man.